Here we go. So guys, today we're going to do that 200k VC giveaway, and I do feel a little bit bad because I said I would do it on Saturday. I'm really sorry that I couldn't do that, but the podcast literally just took up my entire weekend, so I'm doing it today. Thank you to everyone who supported the podcast. It's definitely the sort of best one we've done in terms of response. I really appreciate it. But I just want to start with something crazy. We are going to get into a video after this where I'm going to talk about the kind of reward cards. Some of them are running out today and things like that. Which ones are still worth it? You know, whether you should go for Hall of Fame badge or the limited reward. All these different things. But the first thing I want to get into is we did this giveaway last week because we hit 500 subs. And we are closing in now already on 600 subs. The support you guys are giving me is just unbelievable, guys. It's life-changing. I said it in that video. I won't go over it again, but I cannot thank you enough for doing that. So in terms of the competition itself, I got some amazing suggestions for videos. I've already done one of those videos, which was a defense video, which again was one of my best performing videos ever. I am going to do an offensive one later this week as well. A few of you suggested that as well. But most of those suggestions were so good that I'm probably going to do nearly all of them. I think I can see myself doing all those videos. And like I said, the creative side of this is really tough. Sometimes it's hard to think of new and original ideas, and the creativity that came out of that comment section is going to drive this channel for a couple of months. So thank you to everyone who applied. Guys, I did mention that you have to be from certain regions, and you have to have a PayPal account. Obviously, there's no way for me to verify that before I spin this wheel. But once we get the winner, I will check those things. Hopefully they are, they do qualify for that, and we can just get the VC to them really quickly. Otherwise, we might have to spin the wheel again. In terms of the winner, I will get that VC to you within a week. Just give me 1 week. Hit me up on Twitter. That's the best way to sort of get in touch with me, and I'll get that VC over to you. But again, guys, a huge thank you for anyone who left a comment on that video. Anyone who subscribed since as well, the support you've given on the podcast. Obviously, we had DBG on this week, which kind of gave it a bit of a spike, I think, which was kind of cool. But yeah, just everything's going really well. And it's all down to you guys. None of this is down to me. So let's spin this wheel. I'm super excited to do this. Like, I'm really happy to be able to give away this VC for all the support that I've got. So let's spin this wheel. Let's give it a few spins. And let's see who ends up as the winner. So the winner is Dustin Mole. Congratulations, bro. Yeah, that VC is going to be coming over to you within a week. Obviously, again, we will check everything that you qualify and stuff. I'm sure you do. Guys, if you didn't win the VC, please don't be disheartened. You've done me a great service by just leaving that comment. It's really helped the channel, and I appreciate all of you guys equally. We will be doing, like I said, I'm going to say if, not when, but if we get to 1,000 subs, I will give away 450k VC as a thank you. But for now, congratulations, Dustin. I hope you enjoy that VC, and I hope you enjoy ripping all the new OP packs that have come out in the game. So let's get into today's video, and what I'm going to talk about is all the free reward cards. And there has been a change today, which is why it's a really good time to make this video, because we basically got like sort of a couple of weeks to get all of these cards now. And you might be focusing on certain things, you might be struggling to find a balance, you may have to prioritize certain cards, and also in some instances you may be targeting a card that maybe you don't want to, you don't actually need. It's a waste of time, and you can put your energy somewhere else. As you can see, guys, we literally have, there's one reward card we're missing from this season, and that's Terry Cummings. I did miss him like 3 or 4 times on the TTO ball drop, so he does pop up fairly regularly. As when he was on there before, he's back on the board now, so we could actually go get him. But in terms of all the major rewards, we've got Mikhail, we've got Dishinger, we've got Marin, we've got Bill Walton as well. So basically, we've got all the reward cards that you would need. Some of them are good, some of them are not worth it, and we haven't got Kawhi yet. I'm going to talk about that in a second. We did do some major XP catch up yesterday, so we are definitely on the road to Kawhi. We'll certainly get him. But let me just run you through them. So let's start with the most kind of talked about card of this season, which is Dishinger. I predicted this. I think if you kind of followed any patterns with 2K, you would have known this was going to happen. They've extended his availability until the 19th. So just so you know, guys, they do this every single season. So for the last sort of 10 days of each season, they put all the rewards back in, right? So you've got Dishinger and Beck. Beck was a reward before Dishinger. So we have both of these cards, so we don't really have an incentive to play this. Dishinger is a top 5 card in the game. Beck is also a great card in the game. He's probably still top 20 for me. Like, that card is so horribly underrated. It's ridiculous. He was only available for a week, which is why I think a lot of people are kind of sleeping on him. But he's a really good card. play TT offline. I know people have had an absolute nightmare trying to get this Dishinger. We got Beck within 5 games of TT offline, and we got Dishinger on the 44th game where we were trying to get him. And we were actually just doing the XP, and we luckily pulled him. I do have this luck. Last season, I got every single reward card again, apart from Larry Nance out the XP agenda board, the Ascension board, sorry. But both of these cards are worth it. Beck is really, really worth it as well. So if you're doing this and you pull Beck instead of Dishinger, it's still a good card. Honestly, he's my starting power forward on my team. I'm starting him over Zion and you know, Aaron Gordon and cards like that. He is really good. He's really worth it. So both of these cards are worth it. You've got plenty of time. Once you've done the XP agenda board and you know things like that, if you're doing that, if you've got unlimited finish, probably just sit on TT offline until you get these cards. I think Dishinger will be relevant in the game for a very long time. Moving into TT online. So Jackmarin is again arguably a top 5 card in the game. I prefer Marin to Dishinger. I know I'm not the only person that thinks that. I know general consensus is Dishinger is a better card. I actually prefer Marin. And they're very close, like you're splitting hairs. But if you're kind of going out of your way to get Dishinger, put the same effort into Marin. He's just as useful, he's just as strong, he's so OP for the card that he is. Terry Cummings, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to try and get him purely because I'm like a completionist. I like to get every reward every season. Like I said, we nearly did it last season, we just couldn't get the Ascension one, which wasn't really within our control. So I will try and get Terry Cummings, but there's no way he's going to see the floor, like, you know, in my team. It's just not going to happen. But Marin is right there with Dishinger. He's a really, really good card. He's really overpowered. Not enough people are talking about him. Some of the comp level players are raving about this card. I'm pretty sure Ty Debo said in the video the other day he prefers Marin to Dishinger as well. He is really that good. So if you haven't got him, play some TTO and go get him. Let's talk about Unlimited now. So Kevin McHale is, to me, out of all of these cards, probably the card with the longest longevity outside of probably Kawhi. I think McHale's going to be a good, definitely a good stretch 5 deep into next season. So if you're behind on Unlimited, if you haven't really thought about it, have a go at it. Obviously, you get rewards along the way as well. So it's definitely worth finishing before the season ends. But McHale is really, really, really good. Like, in terms of reward cards I currently have in my squad, like, you know, I've got D-Wade and stuff from last season. McHale is the best reward card I currently have. I think, you could argue Dishinger and Marin are better cards. But I think McHale is just more important because there isn't a huge amount of, like, OP centers in the game, right? You've got Anthony Davis, you've got a few others, you've got Hakeem. But McHale is the free one, and I think he can hold his own against any of those cards. So if you have an opportunity to get McHale, obviously I have videos on how to get through Unlimited with, you know, sort of more painless and things like that. So you could go after him. The Unlimited XP did drop today, which does make this whole thing a lot more challenging. Like, I think for the next few days, they've dropped it as 40 games as well, which I think is really, really tough, to be honest, because the way it works is the Sweats usually get off the game once they've got McHale, and they jump back on for Unlimited XP. But the fact that they've made it 40 games is really, really tough, which means you're going to see Sweats on the game for a long, long time. It doesn't mean, like, you shouldn't have a go at it, because you never know what's going to happen. And obviously there's rewards along the way as well that are really, really good. So you might surprise yourself, you know, if you're not used to kind of going to Arvado and things like that. I think McHale was probably way more achievable than you think this season. Right, let's get into the XP agenda stuff. Now, I'm going to start with Bill Walton, actually, because I've got 2 of them. So I pulled Bill Walton, and I've actually got one. I've got so many packs here. I'm going to try and find the duplicate. But I do have a duplicate of him in here. I pulled him on the 30th and the 36th agenda board, I think. Let's see if we can find him. In terms of Bill Walton, like, he is worthless. I'm just going to say it. The card is absolutely worthless. There we go. There's the duplicate. He is absolutely worthless. There's no point picking him up. If you're not getting him off the Ascension boards, don't lose any sleep over it. Your 1 token is probably going to have more value than that Bill Walton. So literally don't worry about it. I'll touch on Kemba as well really quickly. Again, he's just not a competitive card in the game. For offline modes, he can be really good. Like a TT offline, he doesn't miss. His shot is really, really nice. So he has a purpose. So, you know, if you're not someone who's kind of, you know, targets the level 40 reward, which I wasn't until last season, Kemba still has some value, not a huge amount. I would take Kemba over Bill Walton. That's where I'm at. In terms of Kawhi, we haven't got him yet. Like, I literally have been... I told you guys, right? My weekends are literally absorbed by the podcast. Like, Friday to Sunday night, the podcast is literally my entire life. So I basically got evenings. I run businesses. I'm actually really proud that I've actually got to level 39 at this stage, because this whole season it's been really touch and go. So where I've had a day here and there, I've done a lot. And the reason I'm bringing this up is I did about 25k XP yesterday in one day. And it was just the evening as well. So it was like 6 or 7 hours. They're dropping XP at a crazy rate. People will say you need to be kind of here, I think, to kind of get the XP done. It's not true, guys. I've had 2 days in the last week where I've done 25,000 XP in each day. That's literally what I've done. So if you've got 2 days, you can go from 99 to 150. So if you want to catch up to sort of where I'm at, you could probably be around here somewhere and still very easily catch up. There's still more XP to come. In terms of Kawhi, yes, of course he's going to be the best reward card from this season. He will be. Unless they release something crazy on TT Offline again or something like that, there isn't going to be a better card than this Kawhi that comes out this season. His longevity will be there. He'll still be a relevant card at the end of next season, I guarantee it. On next gen, he's even more overpowered. If you've got any chance, any opportunity whatsoever to get this Kawhi, get it. Now, equally, if you're so far behind on the XP, or it's just something that you're finding a struggle and you just feel like you're not going to get there, don't worry about it. There will be auctionable cards that are close to this Kawhi. Like that Dishinger was close to this Kawhi before they updated him. Obviously, that Dishinger threw that plans out the window. They basically had to update loads of cards and release all these OP cards to kind of remove the general consensus that he's the best card in the game. But this Kawhi will be worth it. If you can't get him, don't sweat it. That's the same for all of these cards. There's going to be buyable alternatives. They may not be quite as good, but honestly, I think the difference between some of these cards, like, it's not going to change who wins the game. I really do believe that. Like, there's going to be cards close to Kawhi, and if you're good at the game, it won't change your win ratio whether you have the Kawhi or the card that's close to it. So he's an obvious one. Outside of that, guys, I don't think there's much else apart from limited. This is probably the most controversial one. I really don't know where I sit with this. I kind of know this Westbrook is going to get outdated instantly. And the reason I know that is it's the history of limited. Right, that's the only reason I know it. The card looks okay on paper. And, those Westbrook card, that diamond was, so OP. As a rim running card, he's going to be amazing. He's going to be up there with the sort of Ben Simmons and things like that. He's definitely going to have value. How long that value lasts, I don't know. I just don't know. All the limited rewards have been outdated instantly. The fact that he's a 97 is already a bit of a concern. I think he will run. I think you're going to see him in a lot of people's squads, but I think it's going to be in the same way we saw Aaron Gordon and Jaylen Brown. People will run him for a week. They'll have to badge him out, to some whole other level. He does have a lot of flaws as a card. He really does. I mean, if you go on 2KDB and look at, I'm not going to get into the specifics. It is an underwhelming card, and I really wish 2K would stop doing this with limited, because it needs to be more rewarding. Now, the question is, do you stop and go for the Hall of Fame badge? I'm just going to be direct, because what I should say is it's up to you. Don't do that. Don't go for the Hall of Fame badge. Honestly, it's like lightning striking to get a badge that's worth it. There's probably like 6 or 7 badges that you would actually get sort of real value out. You chuck them on a player and you get resale value. Things like range and clamps and things like that. The odds of getting a Hoff badge that you really want are really, really low. And to do this for 6 weeks and to just get a disappointing Hoff badge, which is actually the likelihood, like you're likely to get a disappointing one, I just don't think it's worth it. I got back down Punisher or something out the XP yesterday. Like the only Hoff badge I've ever got that was even half decent was Corner Specialist. Everything else has been a throwaway. So I won't take the chance on that Hoff badge. I am going to get Westbrook. But is he worth it? No. If you missed a week, it really isn't the end of the world. I don't think Westbrook's going to be relevant in the game for long enough to justify that card. So I do believe that's all the rewards that we have. Oh, we do have the spotlights as well. So Sean Marion's going to be the reward here. I am up to date on the spotlights, and the only reason I am really is because I've been doing XP. So these are great challenges to do XP on. That Marion card, again, it looks a little bit flawed. I think it's going to be a bit of a Baron Davis situation with that card where, again, the history of spotlight rewards just isn't great. Bill Russell, Rafer Alston. I can't remember who the reward was last season. Was it Vlade? I think it was. They tend to be quite irrelevant once they drop, if we're being completely honest. So I don't think the spotlight reward is something you need to chase. Again, if you're just going to do it for XP, that's fine. The key cards, guys, are Kawhi. The 2 triple threat offline rewards are really important. McHale is super, super important. And I'll touch on domination as well really quickly. That Anton Jameson, I'm way behind on domination. I want to get XP done and then I'm going to knock this out. So I will get this done by the end of the season. He's a great card as well. Couple of badges and he becomes a bit of a beast. So in terms of what you need to prioritize, I think that covers everything. 2K have kind of given everyone a second chance at a lot of these rewards, the Marins and the Dishingers and things like that. So, you know, we've got 10 days ahead of us to kind of get all the cards we want. My goal is to, like I said, get every reward card, and I'll probably run a video where I run all those reward cards on Unlimited. I do that every season. But I hope that helps, guys. I hope that helps you decide which cards you want to go after. If you've got limited time, which ones you can prioritize, and strategically how to approach each card to ensure that you get them by the end of the season. So again, guys, please like and subscribe. Thank you again for your support. Congratulations again to Dustin. We are rolling. Let's see how quickly we can get to that 600. If you drop a sub now, you'll get us that one step closer. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.